Greetings, friends. My wife and I were driving on the Garden State Parkway at around 1 a.m. Motzei Shabbos, Saturday night. We were in the right lane in a dark section of the road. Suddenly, looming up out of the darkness, I saw a black car with no lights or reflectors parked halfway in our lane. Fortunately, I was able to swerve just in time. We missed it by inches. Baruch Hashem, thank God there was no traffic, because if there had been a car in the next lane, there would have been a serious crash, God forbid. Hodu Hashem ki tov. Thanks to Hashem, for He is good. This was miraculous. We had said Tfilas Haderech, the traveler's prayer, and Hashem had protected us. The dark night of Gullus, exile, is filled with danger as we travel at high speed down the road of life. Life-threatening danger, trouble, sorrows, even evil can suddenly loom up out of the darkness. Recently, we met someone with a seemingly innocuous physical condition which is torturing him. My friends, can we comprehend the infinite mercy of Hashem, who protects us from countless dangers and troubles, many of which we do not even know about? Korach had everything, but he did not appreciate what he had. He wanted more than his portion. And because he wanted too much, everything was taken from him. Instead of reward, he received eternal humiliation and the ultimate tragedy of eternal alienation from the master of the universe. One is tempted to look down upon him and wonder, how could he be so blind, so ungrateful, so insulting to Moshe Rabbeinu? In fact, one could say the same about the entire generation of the Midbar. They complained every day, but they had it all. Moshe Rabbeinu was their teacher. They were surrounded by the Anani HaKavod, the clouds of glory. Everything was supplied for them. Water, food. Their clothes were cleaned as they wore them. All dangers were nullified. They were the envy of the world. What on earth were they complaining about? Well, it's easy to look down upon them until one looks at oneself with honesty. When I examine myself, I see that I have the same ingratitude as the generation of the Midbar, the desert. Baruch Hashem, my life is filled with bracha, but I still complain. I can kvetch over nothing. That is perhaps why the Anshe Knesset Hagdola began our day with brachas, with blessings. That's how our prayers begin every morning. I have the seichel to differentiate between day and night. I am a Jew. I'm not a slave. I can see. I have clothing. I can move. I can stand up straight, especially when my wife reminds me about my posture. I can walk. I have strength. I wear tefillin and keep mitzvos. The list is endless. What do I have to fetch about? Am I any better than Korach? I do not think we can absorb the lesson of Korach unless we apply the test to ourselves and ask whether we are on a superior level. Hashem is giving us everything at every moment. Poseach es yodecha. You open your hand and satisfy the desire of every living thing. If we take pains to comprehend the infinite goodness of Hashem, I believe that He will bring healing to this world. On that note, let me tell you the end of the Garden State Parkway story. Shortly after the near miss, which God forbid could have been fatal, we stopped at a rest area. Remember, this was the middle of the night, and one never knows was lurking in the darkness. Inside the rest area, a black man came up to me and opened the conversation by saying, "I hope I'm not being disrespectful." I said to him, "You are certainly not disrespectful. I see that you are a respectful man." He smiled. "Could you tell me, please, where did you buy that wonderful hat?" You hear this, my friends? This man saw a Jew dressed in a dignified manner, and he wanted to be that way. By our very appearance, we can be Mekadesh, Shem Shemayim. We can bring God's name into high repute in this world. So I gave him the address of a hat store in Borough Park, for which he was so grateful. And then I gave him a bracha, a blessing, for which he was even more grateful. Mi ka'amcha Yisrael, goy echad ba'aretz. Who is like your people, Israel, one nation on the earth. There is no other nation like us. It is our privilege to represent Hashem in this world. May we merit to live up to our exalted role and soon experience the Geula Shalema with the coming of Mashiach ben David and the Beis HaMikdash. Good Shabbos!